Entrevistas Alfa.
Hola a todos, yo soy Andrea Tassier de Alfa 91.3 y hoy estoy con The Script para hablar sobre su nuevo álbum, The User's Guide to Being Human. Thank you so much for having me. It's so exciting.
Come on, let's go. Good to see you.
Great to see you. So, this new album that's upcoming is really exciting because it's about finding your way back to yourself.
Yeah,
One thing that really stayed with me is something that I've heard you say many times throughout your interviews. That
yeah,
is that music is how you process everything.
yeah, yeah. Music is 100% how I process life in general. I think about myself in songs all the time. People remind me of certain songs, and then people, the way people speak and talk, and the way they say certain words, everything has a rhythm to it or a melody to it, and yeah, I've always been. I think, but I found out later on in life that I'm dyslexic, but I also know that if you need to teach me something, teach me through song. I'll remember it. I remember it so much easier than learning correctly than sitting down and playing it. So like if we're learning through, it's like, okay, you've got a guitar and a thing, and if you got two guitars and three basses, and you take them, like I learn mathematics through music because it's the only thing I care about.
Yes, and that's great. It's great that you realize that. So it made me
Yeah.
really curious. Has there ever been a moment in your life in which you really didn't understand something until you wrote a song about it?
Oh, yeah. I think not. I didn't understand it, but I was writing songs about love and loss and longing long before I was ever really in love. So I guess I was imagining what it was like to be in love or to have my heart broken when I was like 15 and 16, because it was just like, you're going feeling, you're in your feels and you're writing songs about people, and you think you have your heart broken, but I don't even think my heart was grown full size yet. So you're just doing all these like little kind of crash tests of what it's like to be in a relationship. But was writing songs about it beforehand, what I was dreaming it was going to be like, and this, that, and the other. So, looking back, when you hear the lyrics in it, it was like you had no idea. You had no idea what love was. No, you had no idea how bad a heartbreak was actually. That's what I was thinking. Because I was writing songs like, oh, I'm feeling lonely at home. I don't want to leave. And I was like, bro, it gets much worse than that. Don't worry.
But now that you said that, it's super cool that you wrote like these feelings when you were so young and you had no clue. And now that this is what you do for a living, it's
Yeah,
great that you can actually turn back at your younger self and think about
yeah,
him writing those songs. It's like a nice memory, I think.
yeah. Well, and also the stuff. It's quite unusual, although nowhere near the same size. But I have, I've got video footage of me performing some of the first songs I ever wrote on television shows. I'm like 15 or something, and like I got hair parted in the middle, and I'm like all dancing and singing these songs that I wrote in my bedroom. And to look at that it's insane. It's not even like, oh, there's like a really crappy video. It's like, no, this is, you're on the Donnie and Marie show, or you're on some show, and it's you, and you're a kid, and you're writing, your little love and your little feelings and emotions, and you're on there singing your heart out. And now I'm still doing the same thing all of these years later. I have a video. I've got a hard drive that my brother put with me, which has all of those early performances and stuff. And looking back at it, I'm like, wow, like I I thought I knew everything and I knew nothing. And I thought I'd felt everything, but I'd felt nothing. You know what I mean? It's so weird to see, but yeah, I love it.
Yes, but you were so lucky to actually have those memories recorded.
Yeah, yeah, I'm glad. Well, there's a lot that I'm glad they didn't record, but yeah, some of the better ones, yeah, are there for all to see.
So speaking about this next album that's gonna come out soon,
Yeah,
I was comparing it to your past album, Satellites, which felt like an album about maybe grief, but this
yeah,
new album feels very different. It feels kind of hopeful.
yeah.
So when did you realize you were ready to write maybe about hope instead of pain?
I don't think it was something I realized. It's only when you look back on your own work do you kind of well, there's a theme there, or there's certain emotions that come out. What I did know was the feeling, the personal feeling, the heaviness of being coming through something like that was lifting. And it's not to say that you're releasing yourself from the energy or the grief. It's just, I think your body's getting stronger. So you got the world on your shoulders, but you've now been bench pressing the world for a year, and it's not as heavy as it once was. So I think you learn to live with it. And like I said, the grief never goes away; it just grows around you, or you grow around it. And I feel like, yeah, I think there's always a point where it comes in your life where you have to be optimistic about the road ahead, because, okay, my best mate, 30 years passed away and he's not around anymore. But I have a beautiful family. I got married recently. Um, there's a lot of things I need to be very grateful that I'm still here and happy about to move forward. And in order for me to be strong in their life as well, I need to, not let go of the past, but probably not drag it along with me in a way, if that makes any sense.
Yes, it makes a lot of sense. Congratulations on your marriage, by the way.
Thank you.
So the title of this album is something that I really liked, The User's Guide to Being Human.
Yeah.
So if someone asked you what's the first rule to being human, what would you answer?
The first rule to being human, that's because there's so many, man. I got so many, but the best one is do everything. Number one, lean into every emotion. And that means what it says on the tin, which means if you want to cry, cry your goddamn eyes out. Cry me a river. If you want to laugh, laugh your head off until you can't breathe. If it's you want to feel sad, feel so depressed that you just want to not be here anymore. If you want to just lean into every single emotion that you possibly can, because that's the only thing you're going to feel at the end of the day is feelings. All you can feel is feelings. So why not lean into every single one of them that you can? Obviously, to the point where, if you feel too sad, obviously you still want to be here. But I just mean, and too euphoric that you're going to, don't do drugs because they'll bring you too far. You know what I mean? There's a certain area where you need to stay in the playpen. Handing the disclaimer there. Feel feelings up until you can still feel them.
That's great.
Yeah.
So I heard this story that you recently heard an AI generated song using your own voice, which I
Yeah.
thought was crazy. So did that experience made you appreciate maybe human creativity even more?
Yeah, I'm probably one of the biggest advocates for human creativity. I just adore it. I think, hearing my own song when there was a prompt put in, like a script song in the style of, and then you hear your own voice on it, is insane. Like, it's so unbelievable to hear it and kind of go, "Ugh, how did it? How does it know to kind of sound like me?" And where are these songs coming from? And because our training data got scraped, like all of our songs got scraped to go into this idea. And when the idea of AI came along, I was actually like, I like the idea of AI, and I was kind of, we had done some things where we were doing translations of songs and putting them through AI to make it sound like me, etc. And we were kind of going down that, but then somewhere along the way, I just started to realize that, wow, this is really taking people's money away from them. As in, what I mean is, like, younger artists, if we're promoting these generative AI things and they're putting up all these songs up online every day, there's 80,000 going up onto Deezer alone every day. And that means one person, could be my daughter, could be my friend, could be whatever, is putting one song up a day against 80,000 fake robot ones. Who's going to win? It's like one human against 80,000 robots. In any type of fight, in any metric, they're going to lose. So I feel like those places which should be safe spaces for musicians is music, is the music industry. It doesn't make any sense for us. Like, okay, we have a music industry where people and hearts, and it's more ideas are exchanged, and heart and art and all these things. We're never going to have robots in there doing the same thing and handing them to people. I'm like, I don't know. It's like, do you want to eat a steak or do you want to eat a metal steak? You want to know that you're getting the sustenance out of it, actual proper meat that, so yeah, it's probably a shit analogy, but you know what I mean? You
No,
want to
yes,
know
I
what's going
completely.
into your food. You don't want it to be synthetic food.
Definitely. Something that's crazy that I've realized when I read this about you is that Sometimes people listen to AI artists and don't realize they are listening to AI artists. So that made me
Yes.
really curious. What makes a song feel human to you?
Mistakes. If it's a little bit out of tune, a little bit out of time, you can hear like if it's live instruments and not so polished. So that's probably one of the reasons why it's becoming more. You can tell whether it was AI or not because AI just sounds like really, really perfectly crafted pop music. Whereas something that I'm like, that's a bit bizarre. That was a bit out of time. Um, that is kind of a tell for me. But also lyrically, the great songs it has still hasn't come close to. It's gotten to good. It's gotten to like, oh, that's a good AI song. Now, and I'm not pushing it and saying it should be sold, but I'm like, a good attempt, at a song. But I think lyrically, a robot will never do a Bob Dylan like Times Where They Are Changing or Don McLean's Starry Starry Night because lyrically it's perfect. And there's a scoreboard on artists who are like somebody who sat there and thought about it and written these words down in those in that form and in that sequence. That's the magic, is the code in the words being flipped around till they're in the right sequence. You're like, fuck, those lyrics there mean something more to that one. And because you said these, they make the two of those ones seem even more important here. And that's the fine art that I think will just still always be an economy between musicians and human beings. Because if you look at chess, right, so since the 80s, AI has been a better chess player than the best chess player in the world. Nobody's going to fucking see two robots playing each other in chess. They're still paying to see Magnus Magnuson or Magnus Carlsen, whatever the guy's name is. They're still paying to see humans versus humans. And I think that's the same in sports, and that'll be the same in music, I believe.
Yes, yes, hopefully.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah,
Like I think, well, I mean, if not, who are they selling music to? Because there's so many musicians out there who are like, this isn't music. So if it splits genres and it goes, well, here's all the human beings that don't give a shit whether it's human made music or AI music. Well, they're going to buy that. Well, then they can all go fuck off. But the people who want actual human made music, then here's this whole subculture genre for you. So I think it's going to ring fence a certain type of people, type of person. And then those people who are casually want to play chess with robots or go watch two robots or don't care if they're watching two robots playing chess, go do that. But all the rest of us will be here slogging it out as human beings, trying to swap ideas about what it is to be human.
I love that. I think it's really interesting that you mentioned in this past answer a few songs that you love, because I was
Yeah.
gonna ask you something like that. So you said that before writing this album, you spent a lot of time watching other artists perform. So has another artist ever reminded you why you fell in love with music in the first place?
Uh, yeah, loads, loads and loads. I think I just get so inspired by people. Just it looks like they're following their passion and they really mean what they're doing. Purpose, being purposeful in whatever, and that can also goes across the board. Being purposeful in sports, being purposeful in if you manage a company, people with a purpose that look like they're making the most out of the time that they have been given on this earth. If that makes any sense. So I'm doing it in music. Yesterday I was on a TV show. There's another guy who's a comedian. He looks like he's doing it. He's purposefully doing things and he means it. And he's doing what he wants to do while he's here. He's not wasting time. He's hard working. And that goes across the board. If I see anybody else who's just out there striving, getting it, leaning into every emotion, trying to just live life to the full, because we're not fucking here for long. I get it. Some people just want to be like, oh, I'm just gonna sit back and chill and and smoke and drink and do whatever and just enjoy it. And some people can sit in the car and look at the windows as passing by. I love to get out and run. That's what I want to do. I want to run and I'm going to see if I can try and beat the car. You know what I mean? It's a shame. I think it's an old quote, like a Socrates or somebody or a uh, what's his name? Marcus Aurelius. One of these kind of one of these guys. Um, which is that to not to not use the human body to its full extent is the greatest shame on earth. And that just means like to just run as fast as you can, jump as high as you can, cry your eye, like use it. You were given it, just use it to the best of your ability.
I love that. So finally, my last question. Looking back, because we were talking about your videos of the younger Danny singing his songs. So looking back, if you could sit with that Danny today, what would you tell him?
Keep going. It's gonna work out. It's gonna work out perfect.
That's great. So Danny, thank you so much for this conversation. I think we learned a lot about you, and we are very excited to hear this new album.
Entrevistas Alfa.